to lesson number 2. Oh, this is one of my absolute favorites. This actually comes from a chapter in my own book. Basically, here's how it works. So I'm coming home from my out-of-town trips, and my family is like super cautious. They don't know if it's daddy coming in the door, if it's the bear, right? So they don't really like jump up and greet me. Besides, I have teenagers, so that doesn't happen. And that's fine. I brought that on myself. I don't blame them. But there was one member of my family that always greeted me with a great deal of enthusiasm, and that was my Australian Shepherd, Maggie. Just imagine this black and white fluff ball, and she's got these big blue eyes, and I barely come in the house with my suitcase, and she's just all up in my face, right? And she's like, and like, you can't pet her enough. Like, she's just freaking so excited to see me. And she literally lifts her little lip up like Elvis, like she smiles at me and she's wagging her tail. And I thought, man, that makes me feel so special, right? That just feels so good when I get to see Maggie. You guys have dogs? If you've got a dog, tell me about your dog in the chat. Tell everybody what your dog's name is or what kind of dog you have. And if you don't have a dog, hopefully you've been around dogs, or maybe you have a cool cat. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm sure it is. I don't know if this will translate for cats. But I decided that I was going to take a page out of Maggie's book, and I was going to act like a dog. And so I decided to mock this trait. And on that day, and again, this was a while back, my kids would come home from school one at a time, and I would just get up out of my office. I've worked from home for 10 years. So I'd get out of my office. Normally I would finish what I was doing and then see them at 5 o'clock. But on this day, I decided to get up, run out, and I was like, how are you doing? How was your day? Did you have fun today? What'd you have for lunch? What are you doing tonight? You want to go play? You want to play catch? What do you want to do? Like, I literally pretended to be my dog. And the reaction that I got from my kids was so fun. They were like, whoa, Dad, have you been drinking? Like, they were freaking out, but they really enjoyed it. And it led to these really cool 15-minute breaks where we had conversations, you know? And then my wife got home, and I did the same thing to her, and she's like, what's going on? And the kids were like, he's so crazy today, Mom. So it was so much fun. And I decided that I would do it again this weekend. So on Saturday, I figured, I'm talking about it today. On Saturday, I wrote ALTD, act like the dog, on my wrist. And when my kids came in, I treated them the same. It was very fun. My wife plopped down on the sofa, and we have another dog now. Her name is Luna. She's a little black sheepadoodle. My wife plopped down on the couch, and this is what happens when she gets on the couch. Luna jumps up there and licks her face. So I jumped up on the couch with her, and I was like, hey, honey, good morning. What are we doing today? She's like, you're doing your dog thing, aren't you? So she totally caught me. So I figured, all right, all bets are off. I just snuggled up into her neck until she finally patted me on the head, and then I licked her face. We had so much fun, and it's such a fun little thing to do. I hope you guys consider maybe being a little bit silly. You know, it's kind of like how Buddy the Elf is when he meets Santa, right? That's kind of how I was acting. So this weekend, though, I realized that I could take that lesson, and there was another side of it that I hadn't really thought of before. I told you we got a new puppy, so we have Maggie and Luna. My next door neighbor on this side has a golden doodle, and get this, the golden doodle's name is Ramen. Yes, you heard me right, Ramen Doodle. And they got a new puppy named Ridge. And then over on this side, they've got an old lab, and they just got a brand new puppy named Stitch. And Stitch is like a husky mix, right? And none of us have yards. So about 7 o'clock, we text each other and like, play date. And the dogs just come over and they just all run around. And here's what I noticed about the dogs. Like, they don't care that they're different breeds. They don't care that they're different ages. They don't care that they're different colors. They just see a dog and they just want to play, and they just have fun, and they don't care about the things that make them different. And I thought, that's a good lesson too, right? When I go on a walk with Maggie and someone comes up to pet her, she doesn't look up at them and worry if they're a man or a woman, or if they're religious or political or gay or straight or Democrat or Republican or black or white or purple. She just loves them. And I thought, man, wouldn't the world be a better place if we could take a page out of their book and treat each other that way? So lesson number 2 for you guys, act like the dog. It reminds me of the movie Up. Remember Pixar movie Up with the old man in the house and the balloons? There was a character in Up called Doug. He was a dog and he had a collar that allowed him to talk. And one of the very first things he says is, "I have just met you and I love you." I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if we treated each other like that? So hopefully you guys will act like the dog. Don't. Somebody pointed out that that's maybe not the best lesson because we don't want to sniff each other's butts or just poop anywhere we want. But generally speaking, these are some pretty powerful lessons we can learn from dogs. All right. So I'm going to open it up. Would anybody be interested in telling us about your dog, or something that you've learned from your dog that you feel like could be translated into human life to make the world a better place or make you a better version of yourself?
Yeah, I'll chime in here. My dogs are my loves.
Angie's got her dog with her. That's awesome.
I do? Who? What?
Well, Angie's got her dog in her lap.
Oh, Angie. Oh, okay.
But Cynthia, please tell us your story.
So I have a puppy and he's 9 months and he's so annoying. And you forget, like when you get an older, I had 2 of them at 6 since we lost one of them. And so I have a 6-year-old and now a 9-month pup, and he's just so annoying. But he's got the best personality. He's always happy. He gets in trouble and he wags his tail and he licks you and he's happy. And I say to the kids all the time, man, you know what? If we just took King's perspective and just let stuff roll off of us instead of taking it all personal, like look how happy he is. He's always happy. He could have just destroyed my toilet paper roll and got yelled at, and he's like, oh, hi, Mom, happy to see you. So I've taken away from him that to your point of don't sweat the small stuff, like just be happy. Just choose to be happy. It makes life way better.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
Well, this is Maisie. She's my 3-year-old troublemaker, and I had to pick her up because she was about to get hyper. But I would say a couple things is just, know how to have fun and to realize that you can make anything fun, and also how much love she's willing to get. And it's just all about giving the love and being appreciative.
That's right. Thank you, Angie. Thanks for sharing that. Somebody told me once that every animal has a job. Chickens have to lay eggs, cats have to kill mice, whatever. And dogs, yes, they might herd the cattle, but mostly their job is just to be a little ball of love. So